Hi everyone, we're here with yet another one. Surprise, surprise. Either way, we are going to start with the NFC and AFC South. These are going to be our last two. We're going to start with the NFC because that's just kind of been the way that we've been going. Um, and we are going to start with the Carolina Panthers because I believe they picked just one pick above the New Orleans Saints. So I think that was the case over there. You start with Ted McMillan. I like Ted McMillan a lot. Yes, they have pressing needs, which is where my little complaint comes from in their draft. But I really like the Ted McMillan pick for them. I think that he's a very, very solid pick at pick 8. Mostly because I don't know what defender you valued the most here. Um, Malachi Starks would have been great. He obviously fell down to 27. And I don't know if there was an edge rusher at this point that you were absolutely in love with. So, yeah, the McMillan pick just makes sense, to be honest with you. Nick Scourton, the edge on Texas A&M. Um, they did struggle a little bit about getting to the quarterback. But if anything, Nick Scourton is there to hopefully give room to Derek Brown to get down there. And I know he's had some issues with health, and you're just kind of hoping that he develops. And heck, I don't know what they're going to do with him. Maybe they cut him. I hope not, because I like to see him play football. But yeah, Nick Scourton is a really good start to addressing the defensive issues that you had. Princely Umanmielen. I don't know how to say that last name, so super apologize. I'm very aware of him. He's a very, very good football player. Um, Pick number 77. That seems about right. I really like that for them. I like that pick. Yeah, that pick is very good for the Carolina Panthers because they do need to get to the quarterback. So you draft back-to-back edge rushers. Hopefully they can do just that. Yeah, I don't think you're complaining whatsoever here. Trevor Etienne, the running back out of Georgia. Yeah, um, I think there were better running backs in this scenario, to be honest with you. But I am assuming this is going to be a scheme fit for them. Jonathan Brooks, you don't know when he's going to be healthy. So you feel the need, okay, let's go get us a running back, right? And if he's anything like his brother, Etienne's going to be an absolute animal. And my take right here is going to be a little shut up, dude. But yeah, I really like the Trevor Etienne pick here. Very, very solid. Lathan Ransom, the safety out of Ohio State. He was a really, really good pick for them. They needed help in that secondary, especially. My one knock on their entire draft is going to be I wish they would have got another corner. But overall, they've been addressing defense the entire um, free agency. So I'm liking what they're doing here and getting Lathan Ransom, the safety out of Ohio State. I think he's going to play a lot of meaningful minutes. Um, which I know minutes is not really a thing. That's NBA, but I already said it. I'm gonna stick it. Cam Jackson, I think, is going to be the last one I can talk about. It's going to see a lot of meaningful playing time year one. Mitchell Evans might see like some blocking opportunities, and I think he will do that very, very well. But Cam Jackson is the guy I would like to. I think I'll see quite a bit of this year because I think he's going to be a space eater and get to that quarterback. I think he's going to do his job, and I think he's going to do it well. I'm super happy with that pick if I'm the Carolina Panthers. Um, I want to quickly shout out Jimmy Horn Jr. getting drafted. I think he's going to be a real boy. I like him a lot, man. And he fell into round 6. I think you can see some plays out of that guy. I think he could do very, very well for them. I yeah, yeah, no, really good pick here. Overall for the Carolina Panthers, my one complaint would have been to get a corner. Um, but they've been addressing defense the entire thing. So I'm actually going to give them a grade of an A minus because I really like what they're doing here. They're trying to get to that quarterback. Lathan Ransom is hopefully that guy that you're going to see some meaningful playing time year one and do his job very well. I love that for the Carolina Panthers, and I really, really like their draft. All right, we are on to the New Orleans Saints. Um, they have a new head coach. So they're trying to build their team, trying to build their squad. They start off with Calvin Banks, the offensive tackle out of Texas. He's the best lineman at that point with Mimbu and Campbell gone. Definitely makes a lot of sense to get him there. especially if you're wanting to start with an offensive tackle and not a guard. Because Tyler Booker, I think, was the next best available at that point. And yeah, there's never wrong with starting it like that. Look at what worked out for Dan Campbell. Tyler Shuck, the quarterback out of Louisville. I have a lot of criticisms about this pick, but I don't want to hate on the player. I want to hate on the fact that they picked a quarterback at round 40, or no, at pick 40, and I don't even think he was like one of my top 5 favorites. So, um, that's where the knock comes from for me, and hopefully Tyler Shutt goes out there and shuts me the hell up. Because yeah, you watch the combine film, you watch that he's had durability concerns. You have seen that the guy has had to transfer all over the place. He was Justin Herbert's backup at one point. There's a lot of criticisms with this pick for me. I really don't love the Tyler Shuck pick, but I hope that the player goes out there and proves me wrong, and I'm absolutely wrong. You know what I mean? Um, Overall, that's what I don't love about the pick, but you know, we'll just keep moving. Vernon Broughton, the D tackle, Texas, very good tackle. They need that help. They need help everywhere. They need to get younger. They need to get healthy. You have Justin Reed coming in your second half. They're just kind of hoping that he's able to hopefully field a secondary that is rebuilding and do a really good job with it. So hopefully Vernon Broughton is able to get him and his guys time to work. Jonas Sanker, the safety at Virginia. Yeah, no, good pick, good pick. Again, they need help in the back half. They need to definitely develop over there, and that definitely makes it a little bit easier as you're getting a little now. Okay, we've addressed the O line. We got a quarterback. We're trying to address this and that. Now let's get that secondary shored up. Let's get that D tackle shored up. And now you get Danny Stutzman. So all 3 levels have been attacked. Danny Stutzman was actually a really good running back before this season. Oklahoma was just kind of butt. So unfortunately, it didn't really work out for him personally. But I really like what they did here at this point. Quincy Riley, the cornerback out of Louisville. Hopefully, you see some meaningful playing time. Um, but yeah, there's not going to be a knock here. I think that they needed to get a corner, and that's exactly what they did. Yeah, okay, we're cooking here. Devin Neal, the running back out of Kansas, is my underrated player of the draft, other than maybe Quinn Ewers and the guy we talked about in the last video. Um, yeah, I really like Devin Neal a lot. He's a really good running back. End up getting him, and it looks like they somehow got their pick back from Washington to do that. I don't know how the hell that happened, but yeah, you didn't see a lot of production out of Williams, so Devin Neal hopefully takes his position and runs with it and does a really good job with it. Matavo and Diggs, they're okay. They're okay. Hopefully they'll end up seeing some playing time, but unfortunately they're so far down there that it's hard for me to really judge and tell you what I think they're going to do. Um, Overall, hopefully they end up making the roster. Though. That's the only thing I want to see from them because I want to see all these guys playing on Sunday, and hopefully they do a really good job of that. Okay. Yep. My complaint is still the quarterback position. I understand that it's not fair, and hopefully everything works out for them. But I don't think that this draft made this team any better. I think that it's hopefully built for the long term. So for now, it just gets a B from me to. Okay, we are now on to the Atlanta Falcons. They started with Jalen Walker at pick 15. They needed to get some defensive help. This was a team that started off really hot and then just kind of folded at the end. Their defense kind of went down on them, and it did not work out. I like Jalen Walker. He's a really good pick at 15, especially because I could have saw him going at number 8 to the Carolina Panthers. So I think you're getting really good value out of Jalen Walker. I love the move. James Pierce. I said in the last video I have to base it based off the player and instead of the draft, like trade and all that kind of stuff. So getting James Pierce here, he's a very good talented player. The thing is, he did have some injury concerns. He is very fast. He's gonna bully certain people, I kind of like the pick at 26. If this was like at 15, I think you would have had more question marks. I like the move here. They need to go get edge rush, and they did exactly just that. Xavier Watts, the safety out of Notre Dame. Yeah, I like Xavier Watts. I really do. So I'm not gonna. Yeah, no, getting a safety is super helpful for them because they needed to get help on defense, and they did exactly that by grabbing Xavier Watts and then grabbing Billy Bowman, which looked like about 22 picks later. Yeah, no shame, no shame, no shade. I like what they're doing, um, because yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get a mind in my head what I want to give these guys a grade of, because unfortunately Jack Nelson down here is probably not going to see a lot of playing time. But I think getting Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts is completely fine, right? Because even in dime or nickel said you could possibly put a second safety in. You still have Jesse Bates, as far as I know, and yeah, I think that that's going to be just fine. Overall, based on their draft, there's unfortunately just not enough here for me to grade it high. So I'm gonna leave it at a B minus, but I don't think I hate what they're doing here. I can see the vision and I can see the things that are going, and hopefully that this draft is not just a prank. It's a B minus for me. Okay, we are on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have won this division way too many times. This is their division to lose at this point. They start with Emeka Egbuka. When I first saw the pick, I was kind of like, wait, why did that happen? But then I realized that they are kind of getting older at the wide receiver position. So getting the guy that a lot of people, and me included, think is probably the best NFL ready wide receiver right out of the get go is a super, super good pick for them. Yeah, there were things they needed to address earlier. Um, they kind of do later on. Not well enough at the point, but at this point, I think he went best player available. Jade Barron would have been a phenomenal pick here, but I I can't really argue with the thought of let's get some depth. You know what I mean? Benjamin Morrison, the cornerback in Notre Dame, this was a very good pick for them. They go back to back with these picks with Jacob Parrish as well, where they do finally solidify that secondary just a tiny bit. I think that you could possibly see both these guys getting a lot of meaningful playing time, especially when you do have one of the best safeties in the league in Winfield. You have these two guys that hopefully are going to see a lot of meaningful playing time and make an impact straight out of the gate. I mean, Cooper DeJean was a round two pick, and we saw just how big of an impact that guy was able to make. So Morrison and Parrish are hopefully those guys that you're going to get right out of the get go. David Walker out of Central Arkansas. Here's the thing: I did not know very much about him, but then when I hear about it, and I've seen it, I really like the pick for that. Yeah, there's things that they probably should have addressed earlier. But David Walker is going to be a guy that's going to get off that edge. He's going to do a really good job of pushing that guy in front of him. And maybe he has to wait a little bit, but with how their roster had been shaped up last year, and they do have a really good defensive coach in Todd Bowles. So hopefully David Walker sees his playing time really work out, and he goes out there and he makes a sack and he shuts everybody up. I like that pick for them. Elijah Roberts is really the last one I'm going to dig into too much here. I do know who Tez Johnson is. I think I like what they did there, but I think that there were I don't think there's really anything to write about there. He's just gonna unfortunately probably be a piece in the kick return game, punt return game, maybe even doing a little blocking. But Elijah Roberts, I think, will probably see a little bit of playing time. He was one of those guys that helped get SMU to the college football playoff. Obviously, things did not go well for them in the college football playoff, but they didn't for a lot of football teams. But I really do think you'll see players like David Walker and Elijah Roberts playing on Sunday pretty frequently and pretty obviously. And for me, this draft, again, they could have addressed some things earlier. They could have addressed a little bit of O line. They could have addressed a little safety. But I think that they did get better. So that's why they're going to be leaving with a B plus for me. I truly do think that they got better, and there's a little bit more to pick from than like there was for the Falcons. Um, And yeah, that's why this team's gonna leave with and actually I'm gonna lower it down to a B. But that's why they're gonna leave with a B for me. There's some work to do. There's some work to do there, but I kind of like what they're trying to do here. That is going to be it for the NFC South. We only have one more division to go, which I'm probably going to record right now. Spoiler alert, going to be a little bias in there. But thank you for watching. I do appreciate you. Thank you for being here. And hopefully you follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/I am Cody Lear. I'm going to start doing a lot more gaming over there. So I appreciate you no matter what. And I hope to see you all on the next one.